economic philosophy of African capitalism speaks to our own unshakable belief that the African private sector is the most beyond reliance on the center, build industrial parks that leverage on your state's comparative advantage, attract investors and businesses to your state by creating conducive climates for investments. For the private sector, we must empower our young ones. Across our business value chains, we must identify young entrepreneurs who can play a role and add value. Identify local talent and give them economic opportunity and hope. My economic philosophy of African capitalism speaks to our own unshakable belief that the African private sector is the most important tool to the socio-economic transformation of this continent. For wealthy Nigerians, development institutions, friends of Africa, you can and should and must invest in our young ones, as these are the future of our continent. I will use our own case at the Tony Elmelu Foundation. It is for this reason that my family committed a sum of $100 million in 2015 to empower 10,000 young African entrepreneurs in 10 years to create at least 1 million jobs and social wealth on our continent by training, mentoring, funding, and giving access to markets to these young Africans. We are committed to democratizing luck and access to opportunity by empowering the next generation of entrepreneurs and business leaders, because we believe that the solution to African problems lies squarely in the hands of Africans. It is this conviction that propels us to power the dreams of thousands of young Nigerians and African startups and entrepreneurs. As we say to entrepreneurs, your ideas can transform Africa. We have traveled the world from Brussels to DC, from Singapore to New York, to meet with like-minded partners who have bought into the compelling vision to empower and support Africa's greatest resource, our young brothers and sisters. In 5 years, we have been able to empower 7,250 young African men and women across the 54 countries through the work of the Tony Elmelu Foundation. And let me say, with happiness and excitement, that Northern Nigeria is home to 1,000 of these 7,000 beneficiaries. And today, in recognition of the talent, creativity, and hard work that resides in the young people of this region, and also in order to create jobs and make our people have economic hope and say no to extremism, I am pleased to announce that the UNDP, United Nations Development Program, and the Tony Elmelu Foundation have deepened our partnership to empower an additional 1,000 entrepreneurs this year between now and August from Northern Nigeria and the wider Sahel region. This speaks to the big ideas that exist in this region, and it is a direct intervention to lifting thousands of people out of poverty and in complement to what our president wants to achieve. There are several narratives of testimonies of our impact through our entrepreneurship program. They are truly catalyzing the economic development of our communities. The power of economic empowerment is such that we provide economic hope, and people who have economic hope are less likely to engage in reckless, violent, or extremist behavior. They have something to live for. As concerned stakeholders, we must all join hands to lift our young ones from poverty to prosperity. In conclusion, I have a few things to say. One is we must all realize and recognize the fact that national prosperity can only come from widespread economic empowerment. This empowerment will come from inclusion, education, healthcare, and entrepreneurship. And that is why I'm happy that we are today graduating at about 10,000 people is part of furthering education in Nigeria. I'm further happy that the best graduating student is a female, who is a challenge to all of us here, man. Two is we must support our young African brothers and sisters by investing in their health, education, and entrepreneurship capacity. Three, it is not only the right thing to do, it is an economic imperative to do so. In particular, our young women are the key to economic prosperity in our communities. For Africa to avoid a demographic catastrophe and achieve sustainable growth, we must support gender inclusion, education, healthcare, and entrepreneurship. TEF, the Tony Elumelu Foundation, is committed to supporting Pan-African entrepreneurship in order to drive inclusive and sustainable growth in Africa. The Tony Elumelu Foundation is also committed to unleashing Africa's latent entrepreneurship to lift our people out of poverty, and we can all do this if we commit to it. Students, I wish you all best of luck in your future endeavors, and again, I thank the university community on behalf of my fellow honorees for considering us worthy of today's recognition. Thank you very much.
That has been the Elumelu Tony Onyemechi giving a vote of thanks on behalf of the awardees of this honorary degree.
The visitor to the university, His Excellency, the Head of State, General Muhammadu Buhari, our special guest, General Yakubu Gawan, the Governor of Kano State, the Emir of Kano, my Pro-Chancellor, Council and members of the Management Committee, the honorary graduates, the entire congregation, it is my singular honor to invite the visitor to present his speech. I would also like to ask the Vice Chancellor to present his report sheet. Thank you very much.
The previous year, by University annual report to the visitor for the previous year.
Mr. Visitor, you're welcome.
Former head of state and elder statesman, His Excellency General Yakubu Gowon, GCFR, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, the Chancellor, Bayero University, Kano, King Alfred Papa Preye Dates Fifth, the Emir of Kano and Chancellor, University of Benin, Alhaji Muhammadu Sanusi II, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council of Bayero University, Kano, Ambassador Professor Ibrahim Gambari, the Vice Chancellor, Bayero University, Kano, Professor Muhammad Yahuza Bello, the Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoro, the Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, Dr. Masoud Kazaure, Magajim Malam of Kazaure, the Director General and Chief Executive of the National Teachers Institute, Professor Garba Dehua Azare, former Vice Chancellors, Bayero University, Kano, visiting Vice Chancellors, principal officers of the university, including the Senate, congregation, and staff, Emeritus Professor Ngambo and other professors emeriti, the three honorary degree awardees, heads of security agencies, graduates, proud parents, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. I stand to read the address by the visitor to this university, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the address is his own. It is always a matter of profound delight for me to be here in Kano, which has remained my most cherished political home. Every new visit affords me a desired opportunity to reconnect with the good people of Kano, with its nationally and internationally acknowledged reputation as a serene and attractive socio-political environment. I am highly appreciative and genuinely grateful for the way Kano, as always, stood by us in the last election, which made our being sworn in for the second term an assured reality. I seize this occasion of my visit to express unalloyed gratitude to the good people of Kano and the great people of Nigeria for reinvesting their trust and confidence in us by re-electing us to serve for another 4 years. And I assure all Nigerians that this confidence is not misplaced and will be fully justified through our total commitment to making this nation the true giant of Africa and a nation that will make our continent the choice of the 21st century. On this very special day in the life of Bayero University, being its 35th convocation ceremony, it is apposite for me to wholeheartedly congratulate our dear graduates and their proud parents and family members on these most memorable milestones of their lives. The sacrifice that you have made as students has paid off handsomely, as you have today, by a token of this graduation, been found worthy in character and learning, and thus pronounced fit to receive the certificate of Bayero University, which is arguably one of the best universities in this country. I therefore challenge all graduates to go forth to the larger world out there and showcase the high quality of knowledge and covetable character that you have imbibed from here. I urge all graduates to reach for the skies through continued aspiration, inspiration, and perspiration in their future engagements in life. It is commendable to note that the university has conferred honorary doctorate degrees on 3 illustrious Nigerians in recognition of their distinctive accomplishments and remarkable service to the country. I note with a sense of pride that the choice of recipients not only reflected national spread, but admirable gender sensitivity and indiscriminate concern for the human conditions. I congratulate the university for this insightful and conscious adherence to our nation's constitution to take account of merit, equity, and gender, the inclusive status and conditions of our nation's humanity. The woman among the honorary recipients, Chief Folake Sholanke, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, CON, was a trailblazer, having become the first female Senior Advocate of Nigeria. She is indeed a worthy role model for the women folk in particular and the Nigerian youth in general. Distinguished Senator Bello Hayatu Gorzo, CON, is a politician who has been in the Senate for 4 consecutive terms and who reciprocated the gesture by constantly giving a good account of himself through dedicated service and the delivery of public good to his constituency and to larger Kano State and Nigeria. In acquitting himself with remarkable credibility, Senator Bello Hayatu Gorzo has proved beyond all doubt that disability is an attitude of the mind and not an impediment to effective functionality in life. He has proved that the yardstick of success in life is not mere physical abilities, but competence, capacity, charisma, wisdom, and gritty determination to achieve great heights. Chief Tony Elumelu, CON, completes the list of the honoraries at this convocation, and he certainly merits the honor for his enormous contribution to business and human capital development in the industrial sector of our economy. His empowerment of entrepreneurs through the Tony Elumelu Foundation aptly mirrors and invariably complements our government's trader money, a program targeted at petty traders and artisans as envisioned and executed to enhance their capital base. I sincerely congratulate all 3 worthy and inspiringly selected recipients with an admonition of our youth to painstakingly study their profiles and emulate their star-studded examples. I now consider it expedient to briefly reflect on the state of governance under my administration. During my first term in office, 2015 to 2019, the focus of my government was on three core areas: security, anti-corruption, and the economy. I'm sure you will all agree that there is a critical interconnection between the three ideals. Before we came in 2015, the Boko Haram insurgency was on a frightening rampage, not only in the northeast, but it has started making forays into Kano, Kaduna, and Abuja. It is indeed gratifying to say that our security situation has improved appreciably. Boko Haram has been degraded, and normalcy has returned to most parts of the northeast. I recently inaugurated the newly established Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, which is charged with the responsibility of overseeing the return, resettlement, and reintegration of internally displaced persons that had fled the area for their life. In this second term, 2019 to 2023, by the grace of God, we shall consolidate on the gains we have recorded in tackling security, and we intend to rise to the occasion by aggressively confronting other emerging security challenges such as rural banditry, harassment menace, kidnapping, and other manifestations of insecurity in our peace-loving country. Again, as you all know, endemic corruption was a cankerworm corroding the fabric of our nation before we took office. I am pleased to say, with all modesty, that since assuming office in 2015, we have taken large measures to degrade the menace of corruption, and we are up in arms to mobilize and deploy our resources to all critical sectors of our nation's troubling needs, including education, health, and critical infrastructure. We shall continue to bring to the consciousness of all Nigerians that corruption plays a devastating role in the parlor state of our economy, leading to social deprivation, desolation, unemployment, and poor resource generation and distribution, occasioning social inequity. I need to state here that Nigeria and Nigerians have no business with poverty or being poor. Our situation is a factor of long years of unpatriotic and dysfunctional leadership in almost all hems and across most tiers of government in our beloved country. One area that has continued to challenge us in government is the economy. The Nigerian economy took a nosedive when it went into recession. Massively, that was arrested. And the focus this year is that we are going to experience a 2.3 to 2.9 growth in GDP. This is one of the highest in Africa. Also, the ongoing effort to increase power generation and distribution, as well as rehabilitations, repairs, and constructions of roads and rail lines across the country will give remarkable stimulus and and fillip to the economy. It will lead to job creation and enable massive access to raw materials and finished products. In this regard, I wish to observe that Nigerian universities and other tertiary education institutions have a role to play in addition to the important roles they play in supplying the skilled manpower that runs our industries and civic and public service. I challenge our universities to transform themselves into change agents by shelving the label, perception, and mentality of being ivory tower and committing themselves to conducting cutting-edge research, both theoretical and policy-oriented applied research, in order to help the nation to find solutions to the numerous developmental challenges of Nigeria. Government will continue to strive to provide the requisite funding and other resource input that will enable you function in that capacity. In the specific case of Bayero University, located as it is in the center of commerce, I challenge you to investigate through rigorous research into the historical antecedents of Kano merchants and manufacturers which made them excel in the past. Critical inquiries must be made and positive answers must be obtained with regard to what happened to those local industries promoted by the traditional merchants and how they could be reactivated. Universities have a duty to their host environments. They should be beacons of light, hope, and advancement by generating requisite growth visions for society. I trust that this is a challenge that Bayero University will not shy away from. To conclude this address, let me congratulate the Council, Senate, management, staff, and students of Bayero University, as well as the graduates again, for the success of this occasion. I want in particular to single out the role played by the Council of the University under the able leadership of its Pro-Chancellor, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, one of Nigeria's finest and most accomplished academics and diplomats in steering the affairs of this institution. I urge the authorities of this university not to relent their efforts in the commendable but steady infrastructural and academic growth and development being witnessed in the institution. I would like to assure you all that you would continue to receive government support in this noble exploit of building a university that we should all be proud of. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
The visitor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's ceremony. And I have the honor to invite the Chancellor to declare the convocation closed. Mr. Chancellor, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
It is my singular pleasure to deal with the closing ceremonies. But before I declare the convocation closed, I would like to tell you all, for the sake of history, that this university was established in the time of General Yakubu Gowon. And I would like us to give him 3 bosas. We had the gun salute when we arrived. So I want to give him 3 bosas to close the event. Are we ready? 1, bosa, bosa, bosa. Thank you very much. It is my pleasure, therefore, to declare this convocation closed. God bless you all.
Excuse us, please. You are required to please remain standing after the BUK anthem and the national anthem until the procession receives a reverse order. Please, you are to remain standing and nobody should go out until the procession receives a reverse order. May you have the closing prayer, please, Chef?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. سبحانك اللهم ربنا وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
May we all rise for the BUK anthem first, then the national anthem. Please allow the procession to receive a reverse order. Thank you. BUK anthem, please.
Seasons, we're leading minds up to green Bayero.
Here we come to the end of this 35th convocation ceremony of Bayero University, Kano. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Muhammad Rabi Ali saying thanks for watching.